tongue for all this time, won't let anyone cut me short. I was thinking this was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, I'll be no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. So I woke up, sun in my eyes, forgot all about what I did last night. What I do remember that it was real, real nice. Talks about me are never good. I don't live life the way that I should. Oh well, I'm in for some fun tonight. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Hey now, just you and I. We could be the next Bonnie and Clyde. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Oh, it's a time to rise up. Live the life we're proud of. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Hey now, just you and I. We could be the next Bonnie and Clyde. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Oh, it's a time to rise up. Live the life we're proud of.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to day 2 of the GoPro 7-Day Recruiting Challenge. Great to see your smiling faces here today. I'm super pumped to be able to talk with you, whether it's live or replay. I just got to let you know You need to make sure to tell your friends because today is going to be epic. It's going to be off the charts. It's going to be amazing. We have three of the best recruiters in the world, plus the author, speaker, thought leader, Marie Forleo is going to be sharing with us today. I've got some great announcements, some updates, some information, a lot of cool things, but I want to welcome you. Do me a favor and type, and I want to ask you to be an active participant in this challenge. Don't just be a tourist sitting back. I want you to be stepping forward, actively involved, active in the chat, participating in all of the assignments, okay? And we're going to give you a couple simple assignments today to help you have a breakthrough. So first little assignment, tell us where you're from. Let's show the world the global aspect. What city, state, region, country are you from? Let the world know, because we have, I think, 180 countries involved in this challenge. 180 countries, and people are figuring out creative ways to do translation in different languages. They're doing all different kinds of things in order to be able to maximize this. But I just want to have everybody share the global pride of what we're doing inside of the network marketing profession by letting everybody know where you're from. Number two, and if you got these slides to be able to throw up as we're doing it, guys, it'd be great. Number two, what was your biggest takeaway? What was your biggest takeaway from day one? Think of one thing that was the most memorable, most exciting, most interesting, most actionable, and type that one thing into the comments. What's one thing that allowed you to really have a breakthrough from day one? What's the biggest takeaway? And the reason why I'm asking you to share that, number one, is when you write it down, it gets a little more clear in your own mind. But number two, for everybody else who's just joining, they can take a look at all of the different insights, because different people receive different things. And you go, oh, wow, that's a good point. Everybody can share from this type of an experience, okay? So that's next. Number three, listen, we don't have many of them, but they're very annoying. No spammers in this group. People are doing all kinds of silly things inside of this group. They're, impersonating me. They're impersonating different people. They're doing all different kinds of stuff. Anytime you get anything like that, please report it. We'll block them. We'll delete them. If they don't understand in this challenge that there's 7 billion people in the world, we're going to teach you how to go recruit them. You don't need to be a lazy idiot and come into this environment and try to recruit these people. It's just stupid. So stop being unprofessional. This is called the GoPro Challenge for a reason. If you want to go be an amateur, go do it someplace else. Don't waste our time here. Okay, so let us know, report the content. We'll knock those people out. Next, a lot of people were putting GoPro Recruiting Challenge as a hashtag yesterday. And there's obvious problems with that, because if you're putting recruiting into a hashtag, your prospects are going to be seeing the recruiting thing. So we want everybody to go use one hashtag for this week. One hashtag. And let's see if we can get it trending all over the world. Even if you got to go back to your previous posts and change the hashtag or add a hashtag, here's the hashtag I want you to use. GoPro Challenge. Hashtag GoPro Challenge. Use that everywhere with your previous posts, with your upcoming posts. GoPro Challenge on everything. Let's get that trending all over the world. Okay? Wouldn't that be fun? If that's like one of the biggest trending hashtags in the world over the course of this week, I think we can make that happen. Next thing I want to tell you is Trent Shelton was not able to join us yesterday. There was some challenges, some personal challenges, but he has rescheduled for this Monday. So Trent Shelton will be joining us this Monday. So make sure to kind of mark that on your, I know you're going to be watching every day anyway, but Trent Shelton this Monday, it's going to be epic. Next, quickly, we have a recruiting tracker link. And we want you, every time that you recruit a new person during this challenge, we want you to go to this recruiting tracker and take a photo of this screenshot or a photo of this screen, okay? Because I want you to get that link, and every time you recruit somebody during this challenge, go into that link and enter the information. And we're going to have a leaderboard information for you to be able to kind of, hey, I accomplished something. And we want to see how many recruits as a group we can accomplish together. So make sure to use the recruiting tracker to be able to help report what's going on. The other thing I got to say is there are a lot of people that found their way into this challenge just on the GoPro Recruiting Challenge Facebook group, but you never officially opted into the challenge. And I want to encourage you to register if you haven't already done so, because there's a bunch of special benefits that we'll be able to provide to you if you register. Number one, we can communicate with you. Number two, we can send you some extra training bonuses, benefits. Take a photo of this slide also. Have you and everybody in your team make sure that they go to GoProRecruitingChallenge.com to make sure that you're inside of the actual challenge. Next, I just have a few more. And then I'm going to tell you the prizes that we've got for today and what you got to do to get the prizes, okay? The first day is now gone. It's now off. And every day when we go live, people have 24 hours to watch the replay. So if you would like to get recordings of this entire week and have them forever to be able to go back over as many times as you want at your own convenience, you can get recordings of the entire 7-day challenge at the following link. Can you put that up, please? Take a photo of this also. Just take a photo. The price for this, the lifetime access of all of these, is going up tomorrow. It's doubling tomorrow. You can get it for essentially half price if you get it by the end of today, but tomorrow the price is doubling for lifetime access of the recording. So I'd highly recommend, if you want that in your library of learning, to make sure you go there. Throw up one more time so they can take a photo or a screenshot, please. GoProRecruitingChallenge.com/lifetime access. Take a screenshot or a photo of that so you have it. And finally, if you want to get a backstage VIP pass, go backstage with us and the top trainers and the thought leaders around the world. Interact with all those top leaders, and then after each day have live Q&A with those top leaders. If you're already backstage, let people know in the comments how cool backstage is. But if you want to get a backstage pass, throw that slide up, please. Interact with the superstar trainers, live Q&A every day. And I've got to tell you, all the recruiting trainers in this challenge have agreed to donate a 1-hour free coaching session, one-on-one, with a person that will be drawn from the VIP Backstage Pass group. If you want to have the eligibility to be drawn out of that group and to be coached for an hour from one of these top recruiting leaders, personally, one-on-one, then make sure you're part of the VIP experience. Put the slide up again. Take a photo of that. GoProRecruitingChallenge.com/backstage. Okay. That will get you into this backstage experience. You can do it now and get backstage for today. I'd highly recommend it. It's going to be amazing. Now, for today's prizes. Do we have the prizes?
Yes. Just a second.
All right. Here's what we're giving away to you today for free. 10 winners will get tickets to Virtual GoPro. That's $300 each. 5 winners will get $1,000 in cash, and 100 winners will get a copy of Marie Forleo's book mailed to their home anywhere in the world. 10 winners for the tickets of Virtual GoPro, 5 winners of $1,000 cash, and 100 winners of Marie Forleo's book. All you have to do to be eligible is share this stream now. All you got to do is click on the share button and share this with the world so they have an opportunity to see it. Click on the share button and you can be eligible for a drawing that we'll do today to be able to get all of those prizes. All you got to do is share. Okay. So click on the share button. It's free. You got a chance to get, I don't know, what is that? $13,000, $15,000 worth of prizes for free. All you got to do is share. Let's spread the word. You're going to do that anyway. Okay. So that's it for announcements. Let me give you my little piece of training before I introduce you to some of the most amazing people I know. And Sandy, will you get me those cards? They're in the other office, please. And I need the earbuds would be great. Thank you. I didn't put this in before, sorry. One of the thieves of joy in network marketing is expectation. When you join, your expectation is you're going to be able to sign up a whole bunch of people. Thank you. And maybe that doesn't happen. Or your expectation is your best friend's going to do it with you and it's going to be fun. Or your expectation is people are at least going to be willing to take a look. Or your expectation is you're going to be able to get to a certain rank at a certain time. Or your expectation is you're going to be able to make X amount of dollars with certain amount of hours. Or your expectation is you're going to be able to get rich in 90 days. Whatever it happens to be, your expectation sometimes expectation can be a benefit to you because you're expecting success. But other times, expectation can be a real discouragement. I know it was for me. Being discouraged that I wasn't growing as fast as I wanted to grow. Comparing myself with others. You ever get stuck comparing yourself with others and feel like you're a loser? I know that I did. You get involved and you watch these people and they just go straight to the top and they make it look effortless. And everybody seems to have an Instagram life. And what I mean by an Instagram life is you don't see any of their problems. All you see is all the perfection. Here's all it seems effortless and they seem like they're incredible influencers and they seem to be leading a charmed life. And you seem to be like you can't do anything right. First of all, I think sometimes we are our own worst enemies. We are so tough on ourselves. We're so mean to ourselves that I think it's important for you to give yourself some grace and not compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 25. Somebody else might have already gone through a certain journey before they got here. And then they accelerated in their business. Or maybe they were like, I will tell you one thing. Based upon the life that you've lived prior to joining network marketing, you either get rewarded when you join or you get punished. And I'll give you an example. I was punished because I was so introverted that I wasn't necessarily out there being as much of a giver as I would like to be. It wasn't that I didn't want to, it's just I was so introverted that it was a challenge for me. So when I first got involved, because I wasn't so actively engaged in everybody else's life, I was a little bit punished because I wasn't so engaged in their lives. While other people, they've been givers their whole lives, they join network marketing and everybody's willing to take a look because they've been a giver their whole lives. See what I mean? So what I will tell you is you can change that pretty quick by getting out of your comfort zone and being a giver. Within 90 days, just giving without expectation, within 90 days, the whole world will say, wow, it's nice that you showed up. Thank you. Thank you for showing up in my life. So all of this struggle with expectation and speed, we expect it's going to be easy. We expect it's going to be fast. We expect success is going to be overnight. And in a traditional business, you're going to invest what? Average in the United States is $55,000 for a person to start their own small business. $55,000. And 50% of those go out of business in the first 12 months. If they do break even, if they get their money back, it takes 3 years on average to get their money back. But somehow the expectation in network marketing is if we're not making a whole bunch of money in 3 months of hard work, then it's just not working. Here's the deal for entrepreneurship. Understand this. For entrepreneurship, you're going to get underpaid for a significant period of time. You're going to feel like you're pushing a rock up a mountain. Okay? Underpaid for a significant period of time, fairly paid for a short period of time, and then overpaid for an incredibly long period of time. So you got to be willing to trade the underpaid for the overpaid. That's the difference between being an entrepreneur and being an employee. Trading the underpaid for the overpaid. While you're building to build the skyscraper, you got to build the foundation first. So it's going to feel like you're pushing a rock uphill. It's going to feel like, you know, you're doing everything and you just can't see it. You can't see it. You can't see it. Can't see it. But if you stay long enough, the breakthrough will happen. I promise you it will. It'll go from pushing a rock up the mountain to the rock going down the mountain by itself. It will. You'll get it over the top. So here's my advice for you. Learn how to trade your expectation for appreciation. Learn how to trade your expectation for appreciation. Put that slide up, please. Don't have the slide. Okay. Learn how to trade. See, I'm not even expecting that. It's okay. I'm grateful. Learn how to trade expectation for appreciation. Be grateful for your health. Be grateful for your friends. Be grateful that you have the opportunity to be an entrepreneur. Be grateful that you have a vehicle that is flexible and you can grow as fast or slow as you want to grow. Be grateful for your upline and the people in your life. Be grateful for your company and your compensation plan. Be grateful for the opportunity to flex your entrepreneurial muscle and learn. Trade your expectation for appreciation. See, I just did that and the slide just showed up. Trade the expectation for appreciation. Gratitude is an amazing thing. When you are grateful, and those of you who are, you know, you take care of your families, you're part of, you know, you're actively involved in your families. Have you ever noticed if you help somebody in the family and they're not grateful, what does that make you want to do the next time they need help? It makes you not want to help. But if you give something and you help somebody and they are grateful, it makes you want to give them the world. So if you flex this gratitude muscle, okay, this gratitude muscle, the whole world is going to open up for you. So I have a very simple assignment. If you haven't already shared, I need you to share this video to get all the prizes. If you haven't already done that, if you just joined lately, can you put the prize slide up again? Here's what we're giving away, and all you got to do is share. If you just joined recently, here's what we're giving away today. 10 different people are going to get a ticket to the virtual GoPro, December 11th through the 13th. 5 different people are going to get $1,000 cash, and 100 people are going to get a copy of Marie Forleo's book, Everything is Figure-Outable. And Marie's going to be talking with us in just a little bit. All you have to do is share this live training. That's all you got to do. Now, let me give you your big assignment from me for today. You ready? Everything that I'm asking you to do today is something that you can do during this challenge. So if you want to get the recordings, you can do it during the challenge. If you want to get a backstage pass, you could do it during the challenge. If you've recruited somebody, go to the recruiting tracker and post those recruiting results. That'll give you a chance. That'll put you on the leaderboard. Hit share to be able to, hold on, and I got my thing. Hit share to be able to be eligible for the prizes. And then finally, I want to give you a challenge that I want each of you to do. If you can do it during this training, I want you to do it during this training. And put up the slide, please, on the challenge. You don't have it yet? Okay. Can you turn on the board? Or no? Give me the challenge note piece of paper, please. You got to remember what I wrote down for the challenge. We got it? Hold on, we got our fancy board. We good? Okay. You're going to use this hashtag GoPro challenge. Number 1, think of a person you're grateful for. Okay, can you think of a person that you're grateful for? Somebody that's been important in your life, somebody who's made a difference, somebody who's helped you, somebody that they might not even know that you're grateful for them. Or maybe you haven't told them recently that you're grateful for them. Or maybe you're grateful for something they did in the past, or maybe it's something they did yesterday. Whatever it is, I want you to think of somebody right now. I want you, second, post a photo of them during this training and tell the world why you're grateful. Why are you grateful for them? And number 3, at the end of the post, write these words. Who are you grateful for? Question mark. Post your hero and why you're grateful. At the end of the post, who are you grateful for and why are you grateful? So 3 things. You want to put the hashtag GoPro challenge into this post. Think of a person you're grateful for, post a photo of that person and why you're grateful for them, and just let them know all the way to the top why, all the reasons why you're grateful. Go crazy with, oh, we got it. Cool. Take a photo of this slide. Take a photo of the slide. Think of one person you're grateful for. Post a photo of them and why you're grateful. And at the end of the post, who are you grateful for? Post your hero and why you're grateful. So just like passing it forward with any other ice bucket challenge or anything else, pass it forward so other people go out and tell the world who they are grateful for. Thanksgiving and gratitude, appreciation is going to open up incredible doors. So that's what I had to share with you. I want each of you to accept that challenge and to post it. If you do me a favor, post it to the world on all your different social, but then also post it inside of the challenge group so we can see who you're grateful for. Okay, post it to the world, hashtag GoPro Challenge, and also post it inside of the group. Okay, so that's it. Let's go to our first recruiting trainer. This young lady I met many years ago. I could not believe how much money she was making. She came to Las Vegas to learn how to grow and do better. And since then, we've become dear friends. She has 457 personal recruits over the course of her career. She has over 100,000 distributors on her team, over 1 million customers, all as a single mom growing up in a little tiny town in Texas. Whitney Husband, you are on. Please, young lady, share with these people how you achieved your success and what they can do in order to be able to have something even close to similar. Everybody give her a round of applause. Show them the love hearts, smash the love hearts, say in the comments how you're grateful for Whitney. And Whitney, go ahead, hit it.
Hey, thank you so much. You're so sweet, Eric. I was literally like pausing, like unmuting myself and screaming at my kids to go downstairs because they're talking behind my door. But yeah, so I'm really excited to be here. What is it doing?
I can't hear her.
You can't hear me?
Okay, I can now. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go.
Sorry. Okay, so I'm really excited to be here. And you know, I really feel like yesterday, Jefferson and Emily kind of set me up, like perfect for exactly what I want to talk about. I came into this business and I had no idea what I was doing. I did not have a big network. I'm from a little bitty town. I actually had deleted my Facebook down to like 200 people whenever I was pregnant. So like a year before I even started the business. So I really didn't have a lot of people to talk to. I was staying at home, my son, by myself. I didn't have a lot of friends anymore. And so I came in and I knew how to sell products. It was really natural to me. So I sold some products and things like that. But then I realized, well, there was an opportunity here to really make some money, to really make money more than just a couple $100. And that's amazing. But I was in a position in my life with food stamps and government assistance. I needed more than a couple $100 for us to make a living, right? So I realized that you had to recruit people. I was like, how am I going to do this? And I was able to recruit some customers and things like that, but I wanted to really expand my business and I didn't have the friends and the family to talk to and to, you know, get them to join with me. So I was like, well, what can I do? And at that time I was in school. I was back in school full time and I had this little notebook. I still have it. And there was a couple classes that were really boring to me. And I would sit in the back of class and I just started making lists. And what I did was I first started with, I live in Texas, right? So I first started with towns, cities. I say towns because I live in a town, right? I'm not really a big city girl. So I started with towns literally, and I would write down towns of people, or I've written up towns, you know, that I could, you know, that I think of off the top of my head. And then I was, okay, well, who do I know in that town? Or who do I know that has a connection in that town? And I literally wrote down people's names. And then I started contacting them. Okay. So I started contacting them, telling them about this business, and I really wanted them to do it with me. You don't need the scripts and stuff because you already heard those yesterday, and I'm sure you're going to hear more about those in the coming days. But I would contact them and tell them, I'm starting this business. I've started this business. I would tell them how excited I was. I was telling them how amazing I was doing. Everyone was loving the products, and I wanted them to do this with me. So I did that. And then from there, I actually started expanding into other states. Now, at the time, I did not know very many people from other states. Okay. I haven't really left Texas. I went to school in Texas. I didn't know anybody from anywhere else. So I actually went to Facebook, and I would like sit in the car with my family. I'd be like, give me a state or give me a city and a state, right? And I would go to Facebook and I would look for groups. Okay. So back then you could find like these groups from different areas, right? And I would actually join those groups, and then I would start networking in those groups, adding those people to my Facebook, and then reaching out to them. Okay. So like, this is, a huge opportunity for you in your area and things like that. And that blew my business up so fast. And so what I was doing, I was getting them, I wasn't like promoting my business or anything in those groups. I was just networking and meeting people. Okay. So for me, and it can be like things that you love, right? So I like to network with like-minded people. So I, I have a farm, okay? And I have like 50, 60 something chickens, okay? Like for real. And I'm obsessed with them. It's something I started right before COVID hit. And so it's been, and I was pregnant as well. So it's been like a life-changing thing for me that I had something to do during this time. So I started with these chickens. So I have chickens, and I'm in these chicken groups, right? And I've been networking in chicken groups, and I'm in local chicken groups, and I'm in like national wide like Easter egg or chicken groups, because I need to learn about Easter eggs because I have a lot of those, right? So I'm in all these different groups. And then also I have other animals. So I'm meeting people and building connections through the other animals and things that I have, right? So I'm meeting these people and I'm getting them to my Facebook. And then on my Facebook and my Facebook stories, things like that, that's where they're starting to see that I do more than just chickens. Okay. So I have a lot of chickens, but I have a bougie ass chicken coop. Okay. Like a $5,000 chicken coop, just the shell. That's not including the runs off of it and the inside of it. It's really freaking cool. And people want to know, how do you have a chicken coop like that? Like, how do you have chickens don't make enough money for this, right? So like, how do you have money for these types of things, right? So that's when people start to get curious, and I mix that stuff into my stories. I mix my business and my products into my stories, and that gets people's attention. Okay, that gets their attention. I'm dying at the comments below here. But yeah, so I do that, and that is now helping me grow my business. But I've done that from the get-go. I haven't always had chickens. There's been all different types of ways. So there's things that I'm interested in, there's areas, and I just used Facebook and, social media to find people that I communicate with. And this is something that I see a lot of people just don't do. They sign up for their business, and they just, talk to the people that they already know. And they're like, well, how do I find and add more people? Well, you've got to get creative. You've got to get out there and find more people. And for me, I do my business 99.9% online. I hardly ever go in public to do my business. So I'm also a extreme introvert. I'm not meeting people in the grocery store. I'm not having conversations with people in the grocery store. I don't usually look like this in the grocery store. Okay. So I'm not really meeting people, right? So I had to use social media to do that. And it's a huge opportunity. Sit down, write down some things that interest you, just like you write down the cities and things like that, and people, the names, or maybe even like think about the things that interest you. And then, oh, okay, so who do I know that is interested in these same things as me, and do that, and then start contacting those people. And when you contact those people, and you're making the connections with them and getting them to either join your team, buy your products, be a supporter, they may even just be a referral for somebody else. And you just keep doing that, because every person that you come in contact with is not your destination, they're the doorway, right? So they're the doorway to opening to a whole new network of people. And I've just built my entire business off of doing that completely organically. And I know some of you are going to be like, well, I love network marketing and I love MLM, and that's what I love. And don't go into those groups and try to recruit people. That's so silly. think about things that are completely unrelated to, to you, or not to you, but, to the business, and get creative and really try to find people that are interested in other things as you, because there might be something special that you're really interested in and that they're interested in, but they can't do everything that they want because they don't have enough money, right? And this business can be an opportunity for them to make some more money to help fund that hobby of theirs. And so I built literally the whole business that way. But there's also, there's one more thing, and I'm going to go super duper fast for y'all. Because Eric took some of my time. I'm just kidding. But so there's one other thing that I've always done, and this is kind of goes into the fact of it's the holiday season. So like we're coming into the holidays, Thanksgiving here in the US, we have Christmas coming up everywhere, right? So what I do every single year now, and some of you have probably dropped the ball on your customers, on your prospects. If you've ever dropped the ball, okay, and you haven't kept in contact with people that you should have kept in contact with, the holidays is the best time. Okay, it is the best time to not look really ridiculous for not following up. I mean, even your customers that you didn't follow up with. Okay, this is the best time. So all you have to do is reach out to them, thank them for supporting you. Thank you for, whatever support they did for you and for your business. Wish them and their family a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, a happy Thanksgiving, a whatever. Wish them that, right? And be genuine and thank them. And that is going to give you an opening for more conversations to come after that. Okay, it's going to get them seeing your stuff. It's going to get their conversations coming, because there are so many times that we drop the ball and then we look silly if we try to come in behind there and message them, oh, I'm sorry. And you should say, I'm sorry I have not, contacted you. But if you don't have like a reason at all, it kind of looks suspicious. And so this is an easy way to really just be like, you know what? I messed up. I haven't contacted you. I'm so sorry. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you for supporting my business. Blah, 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 blah. Merry Christmas. I hope you have an amazing new year. Just all those different things that you can say to them to get that conversation back flowing, and then have conversations with them. And you never know, there might be something that you can offer to them that will be a benefit to them coming up, in the next few months or the next year or the new year or whatever it may be. So those are two things that are really important to me, that are really good, simple ways that are duplicatable, that you can not only build your business, but you can teach it easily to other people and get them to have some ideas and ways to build their business as well. So thank you so much for having me. I see you, Eric. I see you there now. I'm sorry.
No, you did just a fantastic job. Thank you so much for sharing. And I know when we go backstage, there's a bunch of people who have questions about the different approaches and tactics that you've used. So I'm excited for you to be able to answer some of those questions when we go backstage in just a little bit. But thank you for doing this. Just so you know, this young woman is making over $1 million a year in network marketing. She did it by herself. She didn't need anybody. I mean, she worked with a lot of people, but she made it happen because she found a vehicle, she found an opportunity, she was willing, she was coachable, and she was hungry, and she took charge of her life. And you can do the same thing. Whitney Husband, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. The next two people, it's a husband and wife, they actually met inside of this profession. They're also $1 million a year earners, over 321 personal recruits, over 30,000 distributors, over 500,000 customers. They're going to talk about how to get immediate yeses in recruiting. If you'd like to learn how to get an immediate yes in recruiting, I want you to type the word yes into the comments. Type the word yes into the comments if you want to get immediate yeses in recruiting. And I'm going to pass it over to Sarah and Tony Zalecki and let them train your butts off. Good guys, go ahead.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. It's good to see everybody. We are so well, we promised we weren't going to say excited, but we are so excited to be here, right?
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, I just got to give you some love because you guys have been playing all out and you've been all in over this challenge. And I just got to give a big shout out to our team because they are just tearing this thing up. And I mean, the results have been incredible. And here's the deal. So when I think back to when I got started in network marketing, I was working on my mom's taco truck. And my sister called us to come down and hear about this company. And I remember getting started. I was 19 years old. I had no clue what I was doing. And I didn't know how to recruit. I didn't know how to talk to people. And I was terrible at it for years. But here's one of the biggest things I want to give you just to kind of start my story is that I would tell myself every single day, I'm not good at recruiting. I don't know what to say. Recruiting stresses me out. And I couldn't get anything together. I had one person in my team, my mom, for years because I just couldn't get anything off the ground. And what I had to start doing is if I wanted to create my best day, if I wanted to just start getting recruits and start getting people around me to do this business, I had to stop bringing my past in my negative thinking and my self-talk, and I was just beating myself up so much. So if you're beating yourself up every day, if you're saying those things that I said, you got to stop. Start saying every day I'm improving. I'm learning new skills. I'm getting better at this thing every single day. And you really want to start acting as if you're a top recruiter in your company. You're a top income earner. You have all this confidence. You have all this belief. Because when you start acting that way, here's what's happened. It's going to happen. You're going to start recruiting. You're going to start growing a team. You're going to start talking to more people. Those people, guess what's going to happen? They're going to start talking to more people. They're going to be buying more products or your service, right? And guess what? That's the success cycle.
Exactly. Well, I think about too, when I first got started, I was 21 years old. I was a nanny. I was a glorified babysitter. And I just wanted to build something for me. I wanted a little bit of ownership. And, I fell in love with the profession. First 2 years, though, struggle. I mean, it took me 2 years to recruit one person in my business. And I went to all the trainings and I learned how to invite and follow up and do all the fundamentals of our business. And I also realized too that our business was about connections. But here's what happened to me is I failed to make sure that I was connected with the most important person first, which was myself. I wasn't connected with me. I was completely out of alignment. I was trying to build my business as somebody else. I was trying to build my business as my sponsor, as my upline, as everybody else that I was seeing. And I couldn't figure out why, nobody liked me. And we all know when no one likes you, no one trusts you. One of my mentors shared with me something that was so powerful. He said, Sarah, you can be impressive, but not likable. You can be impressive, but not likable. And if that happens to you, you know what? You're going to have a tough time building this business. And I had a huge light bulb moment. I was like, oh my gosh. I had to sit down and ask myself this question. Sarah, are you okay with you? So I'm going to ask you guys this today. Are you okay with you? Are you okay with your imperfection and your flaws and your crazy quirkiness and your everything that makes you uniquely you? I needed to answer that as a yes. And the minute I answered that as a yes, guess what? I showed up in the personality that I operate every day in. When that happened, guess what? People started to trust me. People started buying product from me. All of a sudden, people started joining my business. And so we want to teach you guys today, really, how do you actually connect when you invite? We're going to walk you guys through that. We're going to give you a few little scripts, but what I want you to understand is this, is that inviting scripts are incredible, but they are the recipe, okay? Your personality, your uniqueness, your quirkiness, your kind of how you show up just as you, that's the spice. So please don't forget the spice, right? Whoever is eating something that was bland, how did it taste? Ugh, it tasted terrible, right? We want to make sure you have spice on everything that you do in this business and show up authentically as yourself, okay? So here's what we want to share with you is I know Eric, he put together, and Marina, an incredible list builder, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys looked at it last night. It was amazing. But as you guys start doing your list, understand that there are 3 buckets of people that we're going to help you guys connect with.
And we do this all the time when we're working with brand new people right away. They got their list and we're like, we're looking at their list. We're helping them game plan, right? So they can have a great start. But there's people on their list that they look up to. There's people on their list that are equal to them. Yeah. And then there's also people on their list that, people look up to them, right?
Yep, exactly. So guys, the thing I want you to know about inviting is that we all make it way too hard. It needs to be like, I tell people, every time I connect with someone, it's like I'm sitting across the table with someone, having a glass of wine or having a cup of coffee or what have you, and just having that conversation, right? Connecting. So, when we talk about these 3 things, the very first one, like that Tony mentioned, was look up to, right? There are people in our world that we look up to. And it's so important, guys, that the way that we connect with them, we can't just go to them and say, hey, you need to do this. You would be amazing. Or, we can't. They would look at you like, kid, like, what are you talking about? Right? Because that's what happened to me in the beginning. So I had to figure out, like, how do I connect with these people that I look up to? So I want to give you guys a couple of key words. I'm not going to give you full scripts, but key words to use in your invite that will get them to pay attention and more than likely take a look at your business. At least take a look, right? Because that's all we want people to do is just take a look. So I use words like help. I use words like opinion. I use words like admire. I use words like value, right? I use words like I would love your advice, right? So once I started implementing those key words into the people that I looked up to, then all of a sudden they were like, yep, you know what? I would love to give you my opinion. Yep, I would love to help you out. Yep, wow. She gave me compliments. She admires me on whatever, being business savvy or whatever it may be, right? So think about those people on your list that you look up to. You want to make sure you throw those keywords in when you connect with these people, because once you do that, they definitely will take a look at what you're, at your business or, maybe even your product or service too, right? So the second type of person is someone that's the same as you, right? I always tell people a lot of times, this is the hardest. These are the hardest. These are your peer groups, right? So we like to do is I like to use the word favor, because typically a lot of people that are like my peers, we owe each other a favor from something. From one night I had to go pick them up at 1 a.m. and fix a flat tire, or somebody, you know what I'm saying, guys? Like, we have those people in our life that owe us a favor. Right? But also too, it's very, very important that when you connect with people that are in your peer group, that you use the same common language that you typically use with each other. So if you say dude, still say dude. If you say whatever, right? Whatever your verbiage is on how you talk every day, make sure that you're using that. Another key word that we like to use with our peer group is count on. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people in my peer group, I count on them and they count on me. Right? So in my invite, when I connect with them, I use the word count on, or words I should say, in my invitation to take a look at the business, right? Third type, right? Third bucket is the people that look up to you. We all have those people. Those are the people that, I know we're not going out a lot right nowadays, but those are the people that will call you up and say, hey, what's happening this weekend? What's everybody doing? Where's the party at? Or right? Those are the people that, guess what I tell people? You just tell them, guys. You just say, hey, listen, I want you to take a look at this. We're going to do this together, right? This is going to be a blast, right? And it's important that with those people, like, don't use all these other keywords I talked about. Like, they're not gonna hear you, right? So the people that look up to me, I'm just like, hey girl, listen, we're doing this. You know what I mean? I think I found something that you and I could do, and we're gonna have a blast doing it, right? So again, those are the people that look up to you, right? So, my posture, guys, when I, when I've always invited is, and it might sound a little crazy, and I know that it's not necessarily like 100% on the money, but my posture was, guess what? Whenever I picked up the phone or did a DM or a private message or a voice memo, in my head, I always tell myself, they are going to be so happy to hear from me. They are going to be so happy to hear from me. My energy is good. I'm already feeling great. Whether they say yes or no or whatever, doesn't matter. But to me, I always said it. I always said, like, my spirit right before I connect with these people. And, the posture piece I think is so fun, when you're, even when you're starting out. Again, I said this for 2 years, right? Until I started figuring it out when it came to how to invite in those 3 buckets.
So, babe, let's give them the instant yes method,
Okay.
because this is awesome.
Yeah, let's get to it. So we created something called the instant yes method. It's 4 things. Okay. So very, very simple. I'll say them out and then we'll jam through them. Okay. Number 1, problem. Number 2, solution. Number 3, action. Number 4 is buy/join. Okay. So what does that mean? Our business, guys, the most important thing we can do is be a great listener. That is the most important thing that we can do, is be a great listener. And one of the ways, another way that we like to invite is we like to invite according to someone's need. Okay. So again, in the list builder that you filled out, typically I'd say the first probably 30 to 40 people we've had connections with before. Maybe we talk to them on a weekly basis. Maybe we voice message with them, right? We have a pretty good idea of kind of what happens in their life. But have we really stopped and listened to what they tell us? Majority of the people, guys, in those conversations that we have, they have a problem. They have a pain point that they're telling us all the time. We're just not listening. Maybe it might be someone's talking to us and they talk about how they're tired of paying for daycare. They're tired of somebody else raising their kids. They're tired of not being healthy. They're tired of being overweight. They don't know the last time they went on vacation. They're tired of having a broken down car. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're tired of not having friends. They're tired of being lonely. They're tired of not having a social life, right? Those are all pain points. Here's what's awesome about our business, guys. I believe in my heart that we are a solution for all of that. That our companies that we represent are solutions for all of that. So what's exciting for all of you guys is you now have an incredible way to invite someone to look at the business. Instead of getting caught up in all these scripts on what to say and how to say it, and we feeling like a robot, what if we actually just wrote those things down in the conversations we have and invite? So that's considered the pain point is a problem, right? Our company, our business is a solution. And if we can invite according to someone's need, guess what they're going to do? They're going to take action. They're going to take action to look. They're going to take action to look at a link, at a video, at a webinar, at whatever, right? So my invite might be really simple. If my girlfriend Amy is talking to me about how she wishes she could spend more time with her kids, guess what my invite is when I talk to her? Amy, remember when I talked to you last time and you were talking about how you wish you could spend more time with your kids? Yeah, I remember that. Well, guess what? I think I found something that might allow you to actually spend more time, right? And I keep it simple. And then I invite into the link or whatever our third-party tools are that we use with our company. So I think, for all of us, it's like I like to use when I'm doing the invite, I found something that might be able to change that or help that or solve that. And then I invite right into the tools. So I think a lot of times we make this so difficult when it comes to inviting, when it's stuff that we already know, it's already right in front of us. We just have to be a normal person and start having those conversations.
Yeah, so let's give them an assignment. Here's an assignment for later, but on your wall, do a post as a great engagement post and say, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up, right?
Exactly. And you know why this is cool? Number 1, guys, it gets people dreaming, right? Number 2, guess how many people are probably not doing what they wanted to be when they grew up, right? Quite a few, right? How many of those people shelved their dreams, forgot about it, stuff happened, crisis, life, whatever it may be, right? It's a great post to start engaging with people on the back end in Messenger, where let's say if my girlfriend Amy posted attorney, but I knew that definitely, obviously she wasn't an attorney, right? I would jump in that DM and I would have that conversation, say, Amy, no way, I didn't know you wanted to be attorney. Like, how like what happened? Like, why did you know what I mean? And all of a sudden she starts telling the story. Well, Sarah, I got married early, or this happened, or this happened, or this happened. And it just is another way of starting that connection, right? But on a much, much deeper level. I mean, every single one of us, we know, like the minute that Tony asked that question, we all knew the answer. We all remember that answer when we were a kid, what we wanted to be when we grew up. But a lot of people just are not doing that anymore. And why aren't they doing that anymore? And so what's so cool, guys, is that obviously, again, my mind is I feel that we can give someone a solution to get their dreams back, to dust it off, to maybe pursue some of that stuff that they quit chasing a long time ago, right?
So the one thing you can control is the invite, right?
It is the invite. It's the only thing that you can control. So we want to show you guys something because we are a big believer in analogies. Okay. So how many of you guys know what this is? You guys know what this is? This is the closest thing we could find on Amazon to a bus driver hat. Okay. So here's what I want you guys to understand. In network marketing, your job is one thing. You have a job description. It is called bus driver. That is all you do. Okay. So what does that mean? Your company, the company that you represent, is the vehicle. You are the driver of that vehicle. Okay. Some of you guys, you have a bus, but it's sitting in the parking lot. It's stalled out. It's not doing anything because you're not really inviting anybody on the bus. It's just kind of hanging out, or there might be like one guy in the bus that's got cobwebs on him. You know why? Because you're talking to the same guy every day for the last 2 years, right? Well, today that's going to change. Today, you are going to open up that door and you are going to start inviting. And that the only thing, guys, that you can do in this business is invite. You don't get to decide who gets on the bus. You don't decide who gets off the bus, right? That's part of the list builder. You don't cherry pick who gets a chance to take a look at the business. All you do is you drive that bus, baby. You drive that bus, right? All you do is you drive. And the thing that I want you guys to understand is that your job is to fill those seats, to get those seats full, right? That's why we're in this challenge today. We're in this challenge because we want to invite and we want to invite and we want to invite. Here's what happens though, guys, okay? Sometimes there's people that you invite and they walk up the stairs of the bus and they walk right back off. And sometimes there's people that get on the bus, they get all the way to the middle and they turn around and they walk right back, right? Maybe they like only got halfway through your link or whatever, maybe, and they got scared and they ran away, right? Sometimes there's people that actually join your business and they hang out and they sit on the bus for like 2 months and then they get off. Sometimes they even jump out the emergency exit. But guess what? That doesn't matter to you. That doesn't matter to you because guess what you're doing? You're just driving the bus. That's your job. You drive the bus, guys. You don't decide. You just drive.
So get on that bus, get the wheel, and drive that bad boy. And like Sarah talked about, just keep filling that bus no matter what. If they're jumping out the window, they're going through the emergency exit, you don't really care because all you're going to do is keep filling that bus nonstop. We love you guys. Back to you, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that very much. I love your bus driver hats. That's absolutely epic. Congratulations. Great training. Hope you're all getting value. What I'm watching in the comments is, boy, they talk fast. They're like the fastest talkers in the world. One of the reasons to get the replay so you can watch it multiple times. But the 4 things: problem, solution, action, and then buy or join. Very simple process to get to yes. And then I love the bus driver piece of this. Now I'm excited. If you haven't shared yet, make sure that you share now or tag somebody in this post. This next presenter, Oprah called her a thought leader for the next generation. She was named one of the top 100 websites for entrepreneurs by Forbes.com, is the author of the instant #1 New York Times bestseller. I love the title. Everything is Figure-outable. Marie Forleo's mission is to help you use your gifts to change the world. Marie, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on today.
I'm so glad that you're here. Everybody here is looking to have a breakthrough, and we're giving them tactical messages on how they can go out and build their entrepreneurial businesses. What I'd love you to do is help them figure out the mind game so they can turn any obstacle that they have into an opportunity. So take it from here.
Oh yeah. Well, one of the things I want to start with is that all of us are going to be faced with challenges throughout our life, right? Every single stage of our entrepreneurial journey, every stage and every season, we're going to essentially face obstacles. And one of the best things I've ever learned in my life was from my incredible mom, who is still with us to this day. And I'll take you back to the story. So, my mom is this incredible human. So she's about 5'3". She's got the tenacity of a bulldog. She looks like June Cleaver, and sometimes she cusses like a truck driver. So my mom grew up the daughter of 2 alcoholic parents in the projects of Newark, New Jersey. And she really learned by necessity how to stretch a dollar bill around the block like 5 times. And she made herself a promise that when she grew up and she was an adult, that she would find a way to make a better life. And one of my fondest memories from when I was a child was sitting around the kitchen table in New Jersey on Sundays with my mom clipping coupons. So she loved to teach me all the different ways that our family could save money. And one of her favorite things to teach me about was the fact that brands would send you these really cool free things like recipe books or utensils if you saved up your proofs of purchase. I don't know how many of y'all remember that, but that was a big part of my childhood. And one of her prized possessions was something that she got for free from Tropicana orange juice. It was this tiny little transistor radio. It looked like an orange, shaped like an orange. It had this red and white straw sticking out of the side. And I don't know what it was about that thing, but she loved it. And my mom's one of those humans who's just constantly busy. She's always doing something around the house. She's never sitting still. And as a kid, I remember the way that I could find out where my mom was listening for the sound of that tinny little AM FM radio. So one day I was coming home from school and approaching the house, walking down the block, and I hear her radio blaring in the distance. And as I got closer, I looked up, and there I saw my mom perched on the second story of our 2-story house, very precariously. Her little Tropicana orange radio was sitting next to her, and she was like wobbling up there. And I was like 8 years old. I was like, "Mom, what are you doing? Are you okay?" And my mom yells down to me. She's like, "Ray, I'm fine." She said the roof had a leak in it. I called the roofer. He said it was going to be at least $500. I said, "Screw that. I'm doing it myself." That was my mom. Another day, I remember coming home from school and I heard the radio and it was blaring from like the back of the house. So I'm tiptoeing around, going to the back of the house. I see my mom. I realize she's in the bathroom, and I pop open the door, and there my mom is in the bathroom. There's dust particles in the air. There's pipes sticking out of the walls. It looked like an explosion went off. And I was like, "Mom, are you okay? What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, the tiles, they had some cracks in it. I didn't want the bathroom to get moldy, so I'm retiling the entire bathroom." Now, you have to understand, y'all, this is the 80s, right? This is like a pre-internet, pre-Google, pre-YouTube kind of world. And my mom, she never got past a high school education. So, this was kind of interesting. So there's this one day that I came home from school and it was late. It was in the fall. It was already dark out. It was super creepy. And as I approached my house, something was different. I look up and it's completely dark and completely silent, which for an Italian-American home, never a good sign. I opened the door and I felt that pit in my stomach, that pit when there's something wrong. And I was like, "Gosh, where's my mom? Where's the sound of that radio?" Tiptoeing around, and all of a sudden I hear some clicks and clacks coming from the kitchen. So I follow that sound and I see my mom hunched over the kitchen table, which looked like an operating room. She had electrical tape, screwdrivers, and then spread out in front of her in about a dozen pieces was a completely dismantled Tropicana orange radio. And I was like, "Mom, are you okay? This is your favorite thing. What happened? Is it broke?" And she said, "Rio, no problem. That's fine." She said, the antenna was off and the little dial wasn't working. So I'm fixing it. And I sat there just looking at her work her magic like I've always done before. And I finally asked the question I should have always asked, which was this. I said, "Mom, how do you know how to do so many different things that you've never done before, but nobody's showing you how to do it?" And she put down her screwdriver and she cocked her head to the side and she said, "Ree, what are you talking about? Nothing in life is that complicated. You can do anything you set your mind to. If you roll up your sleeves, you get in there and you just do it. Everything is figure outable." And y'all, I was just like, everything is figure outable. everything is figure outable. Oh my God, yes, everything is figure outable. And I swear to you, ever since that day, that 3-word phrase buried so deep in my soul, and it's been the driving force of everything that I've created in my life. I mean, when I was in high school, that little phrase helped me extricate myself from a physically abusive relationship. When I went to college, it helped me get through every obstacle, from not getting the right classes, having to switch majors, having to get work study programs. I remember after I graduated, it helped me get a job on Wall Street. It helped me get a job in publishing. When I was finally ready to start my own business, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And I was so terrified. I had so much fear, so much self-doubt, so much insecurity. That phrase helped me get over that hump. And now I've been in business for 20 years, and it has not been a rainbow. It's not been, skipping around, tossing daisies and unicorns all over the place. Like everyone here watching right now, there are challenges. And there is not a day that goes by that little phrase, everything is figure outable, doesn't help me pick myself back up and take any obstacle and find the opportunity within them. So that's the everything is figure outable story. Eric, I'm going to toss it back to you, because I was told that we were going to have a dialogue and a little Q&A today. So I'm just going to be here and see how I can deliver value to you and all the incredible people in the GoPro Challenge.
All right, love that. These people, many times they're trying to, what would you do? What would you say to somebody who just finds themselves, here's what they could be doing and what they should be doing, and they know it, and here's what they're doing.
Yep.
And they can't seem to close the gap. How would you coach them on how to close that gap?
So I think it's a really personal thing. I would dig into it with each and every person, but let's go through some fundamentals that I think can help anyone. First of all, success happens by choice, not by chance, right? And if you want to get to a new level in your business, you're going to have to do things that you're uncomfortable with, that maybe you've never done before. You're going to have to dismantle some habits of thinking, some habits of action that are keeping you down at this level, and that'll take you to this level. I think most of us can get things so twisted up, and we want to make it so complex when it's not. So for example, I would invite everyone here to ask yourself, what do you do the moment you wake up in the morning? What's the first thing that you do? I will say, if you grab for this thing, you're already starting off behind the 8 ball. This thing is downgrading your mind. It's downgrading your motivation. It's downgrading your emotional and your mental health, whether you realize it or not. So one of the things I like to tell people is create before you consume. Create before you consume. Never before in the history of humanity have we had so much coming at us. Never before has there been devices like this that are literally engineered to make us addicted, engineered to, again, downgrade our brains. We've never dealt with this. So in order to deal with this and to get to that next level that you're talking about, Eric, you really have to architect your day so that you win. And architecting your day so you win means you start the night before, thinking about, well, what would be the best way to start my day? What would the highest and best me do if I wanted to take my success level from down here to way up here? Maybe it might be starting your day in prayer. Maybe it might be starting your day with meditation, with your partner, looking at your goals, working out. There's no one right recipe for this. And one of my core beliefs, Eric, is that every single one of us is our wisest teacher. So when you get out of listening to this thing all the time, or you get out of listening to other people, I would suggest everyone here take some time and write down, if the highest and best you was showing up first thing in the morning, what would that look like? Architect it. And then it's as simple as pie. You got to do it. You have to train yourself to show up like the highest and best you, regardless if you feel like it. There's a caveat to this. Obviously, we are still in the midst of a global pandemic, right? There's going to be times in all of our life where physically, perhaps we don't feel well, and you got to prioritize your health. So I'm not saying to push past where you're burning out. I'm not saying to do anything that would put you, in a terrible predicament health-wise. But 99% of the time, that's not what's going on. 99% of the time, it's a conversation in our own head that says, oh, I don't want to. It would be easier to scroll my feeds, or it would be easier to, read something that really is not going to get me ahead. But I think this simple philosophy of create before you consume, putting yourself in the role of being a producer, being a creator, being an elevator of your wealth, your success, what's possible for others, rather than passively consuming the information of the world, passively consuming the agenda of others who show up in your email, right? Passively just receiving what the world thinks you should be, the limits it's putting on you, pressing you down. We want to be proactive creators, creating that possibility for ourselves. And you don't want to make it any more complicated than that.
Yeah, passive consumers, we all have become passive consumers. They're spending trillions of dollars trying to turn us into passive consumers versus proactive business builders. And the one thing that I found out inside of this business, and you talk about people working too hard, treat your health. I mean, if you get the virus, then yes, totally take care of yourselves. And if you got some serious situation, yes. But here's what I will tell you, Marie, and for everybody else here, and they all know it, but I'll just say it to you. Very few of these people could be accused of working too hard.
Right.
Most of them, if somebody was following them around with a hidden camera and you're going to try and take them to court and prove that they were trying to build a network marketing business, you wouldn't have enough evidence to be able to convict them in front of the judge. You'd be able to say, well, no, I guess they're not doing very much. So one thing that I found out was challenging for me, because I was kind of taught to act like an employee since I was 2 years old, do as I'm told, right? And you join this thing and you have to learn how to lead yourself, how to be your own boss. And the way I treat it, I almost treat it like there was Eric number one and Eric number two. Eric number one was the boss. Eric number two was the employee. And Eric number one was tough. Eric number one was sitting over my bed in the morning saying, you ever going to get out of bed? Eric number one was, saying, come on, are you going to scroll forever? Come on, are you going to call somebody? What hours are you going to work? What are you going to do in those hours? Eric number one would hold me accountable. And slowly those two people merged into one. And I learned how to employ myself. Okay.
So good.
But most people struggle from fear or from just programming. They've been doing what they're told their whole lives. And nobody's telling them what to do. So I'll ask a question in the comments, and I want to ask you a question, Marie. The question for everybody watching this, and be honest, if you have the courage to answer this question in front of the world, I'm your fan. But be honest when you answer it, because God's watching. How much would you pay somebody else to do what you've done in your network marketing business for the past 30 days?
Woo!
How much would you pay somebody else, honestly, to do what you've done in your network marketing business the last 30 days? That's just a wake-up call. And all that says is, because of fear or programming, you haven't learned the skill of employing yourself yet.
That's right.
So Marie, how can you help somebody figure out the skill of employing themselves?
Absolutely. So here's a question that helped me so much, and it still helps me to this day. All of us, like, there's seasons of life, right? And we have rhythms and flows, and that's natural. This question, I remember specifically at the beginning of my journey, really helped me up my own game. It was, how would I behave if I was the best in the world at what I did? That doesn't put me in competition with everyone else. It's not to go down that compare Schlager road, but the best, highest and best version of me. How would I behave? What's the first thing I would do in the morning? What's the second thing I would do in the morning? What's that whole list of things that I am not touching? No way. And what's the whole list of things that abso-friggin-lutely, if I want to use my time on this earth to make the biggest impact that I possibly can, to take care of my family, to take care of my community, to be an example of what's possible, how would I behave if I was the best in the world at what I do? And then I want to tag off of something you said, Eric, because it was so brilliant. This is another little trick that you can play with yourself, because again, it's not one recipe. I mean, there are certainly common threads, and we can get into that and talk about it, but we want everyone listening right now, you know what you need to change. You know exactly what you need to adjust. And I always think about it like this. You were talking about, if someone was prosecuting a case and looking for evidence, another frame on that is, you know, if you had a camera crew following you around all day and they were going to showcase you on the front page of the Times or any network that you could possibly imagine of like, this is the model for what it means to be the best in the world, would you be proud of what they're capturing? Would that be okay with you? And, you know, as someone who I've done a lot of work on video for my whole career, so I understand what it feels like to have those cameras on. And I will tell you, when you start thinking about the potential of other people looking to you as an example, of other people looking at your content, how you're behaving, how you're holding yourself, what you are doing with your time, and you understand you're an example, whether for your kids or your community or other people in your business, man, does it change things. It changed things real fast. And again, it's not about putting undue pressure on yourself, but most of us have so much more inside that we haven't tapped into yet. There's so much more possibility. And Eric, you know, you said nobody listening right now, none of us are going to be accused of working too hard. I have to say, one of the biggest things that I think my parents gave me as a gift was that unstoppable work ethic. You know, my dad was a small business owner. And I remember, Eric, there were times when his clients would have a rush job. It was a printing business, right? So it was kind of, there's a lot of manual things, and a big client would come in and there was some big challenge. And he said, you know what? We go above and beyond for our clients. So what we would do is we go into the shop and we have what we call work parties. My parents would order a couple pizzas. Again, we're from New Jersey, it's Italian American. We'd have pizzas. We'd have a big boom box back in the day. And sometimes we'd wind up staying up until 1, 2 a.m. in the morning, but we'd turn it into a party. And there's no reason you can't do that now with your network marketing business. It doesn't have to be nose to the grindstone, like that. You can turn this into a money-making, world-changing party. Get your favorite playlist on. You could take a little dance break, what I do all the time, because our energy is going to dip. But it doesn't have to be discipline in a way that makes you feel beat down. It can be energized. It can be enthusiastic. And I would argue that the more fun and joy and playfulness that you bring to that diligence every day, you're going to have so much more success with recruiting all the people on your team, because people want to be around folks that have a lot of energy. They want to be around folks that are having fun doing what they do. And in all honesty, Eric, I think that has been one of the secrets to my success. You can talk about these ideas of personal development or business development. And quite frankly, when I started out, one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing was I appreciated everything that was out there already, but I didn't see anyone building in any humor. I didn't see anyone kind of making fun of themselves or being a little bit goofy or doing things like wearing wigs and doing all these sketches. I learned best that way. So I said, well, let me create it. So I think that there's so much room here to not just say, oh, I'm so bad, I'm not doing enough. But you can say, well, how could I turn this into the most energized, incredible party where I'm having such a good time that people want to join my team? They want to sell what I'm selling. They go like, what is he on? What is she? I'm going to have some of that. Whatever they're having, let me have some of that.
I love that. And the whole idea of having fun. And sometimes when you're anxious, you got to like tell yourself, wait a minute, lighten up. Don't treat yourself so seriously. Just, you know, get out there and especially as an introvert like myself,
yeah,
it's a little bit, I have to remind myself to do it. I don't naturally do. I have to catch myself and say, hey, you got to brighten up. You got to put a smile on your face. You got to show up in the world. And for everybody that's posting all of these different things in your past 30 days, maybe that didn't make you feel very good. The question that I asked you, that was for awareness, number one. But I also don't want you to beat yourself up.
Yeah.
Because you're here. You're here. You made this decision to be part of this challenge. You're here to learn. You're here to grow. You're here to get better. We're here to help you with the mindset and the strategy and to help reprogram your own mind so you can take more action and build a bigger business. So congratulate yourself for being here. Do not beat yourself up over the past. Forgive yourself for any past mistakes and move forward. The other thing I would tell you, Maria, I'd like to get your feedback on this, because for me, when people used to say, go be yourself, that was not good advice for me, because I didn't like myself, you know, so I copied other people's behavior. I almost modeled other people until I could find my own place in the world. But the other thing that was really helpful for me, and I think because I've always been a little bit rebellious to structured authority. If somebody tells me I have to do something,
yes,
whether it's drive a certain speed or, you know, whatever, I'm not really good at following rules that other people give me. If I give my own rules, if it's my idea, I don't mind. But if you tell me I've got to do X, Y, and Z every day for the rest of my life, I'm now unhappy. But if you tell me, hey, here's a short-term project, just do this little project today, just this little thing, get that done. And then tomorrow we'll pick another one, right? Little challenges. That's how this 7-day challenge came about, is 7 days I could do amazing things, way more than I would have done if it was just any other day.
Yep.
So short-term projects helped me to focus, and they also helped me to break through and change my mindset. Has that been successful as far as you teaching people how to figure stuff out?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I want to underscore something you said, because I see a lot of the comments popping up where when someone says, just be yourself, how that can be such unhelpful advice. Well, what the heck does it mean if you don't know what your voice is, if you don't know what your vibe is, if all of that just makes you feel even more frustrated? I just want to go there for a second, because again, I see a lot of people saying, yes, me too. Yes, me too. So here's a couple things in terms of being yourself. This is what I found really helpful, especially when it comes to writing copy, especially when it comes to how you're going to interact with people. Of course, we want to have some degree of professionalism. That's fine. We're all adults. Most of us have that. But here's what I always use. I call it the friend filter. What are the kind of conversations that I legitimately have, the reference points, the jokes that I make with my real life friends? And I remember in the beginning, that was such a great little trick and shortcut, because I had in my brain, which I bet a lot of people listening do, an idea of what a successful network marketing professional looks like, does, speaks like, dresses like, the kind of, cultural references they might have.
The dog whistles.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and when I was starting my business, I remember I had a child's image of what a successful businesswoman should be. And that image had like big shoulder pads. She was going to have some big corner office with, a glass view around the city. She spoke a particular way. Everyone thought she was so intelligent and articulate. And I will tell you, Eric, when I tried to be that, when I tried to live into that, I was miserable. I didn't get any traction at all, because I was trying to live into an old, outdated idea of what a successful woman sounded like and was like. And the moment I said, okay, well, I was practically crying because it wasn't working. I was like, screw that. This is the real me. This is how I actually talk to my friends. These are the jokes that I would make. If I wanted to teach someone about X, Y, or Z, or get them turned on to a particular product, or get them to try something or come join me, here's the kind of language I would use. Here's the kind of energy I would use. This is actually what my face would look like. And there would be no shoulder pads to be found. So I think for everyone listening right now, if you've ever found yourself going like, well, I don't know how to be me, use the friend filter. Think about one friend that you like, someone in your life that you love, someone that you really connect with, that you feel like, you can really pour your heart out to, and communicate from that place. Let yourself just be you. And I think the other thing, Eric, that's really important, that's been at least important for me, is to remember that you and who you are is so brilliant and so perfect, and you're not for everyone. You're not trying to reach everyone. So one of the things that I teach people, we have a program called B-School, and also the Copy Cure, which is really about identifying and honing in on your messages so you can meet and reach the people that you're meant to serve, is if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. I'm going to say that again. If you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. So what does that mean? It means that you have to give yourself permission and to be courageous enough to be the full you, exactly as you are, and to realize you are absolutely going to turn some people off. And that's okay. They're not your people. There is more than enough to go around. And the energy that bringing the full, unadulterated you is going to have and bring to the table, it's going to surpass any rejection. You're going to naturally repel people that aren't meant to be a part of your team. And you are going to so attract the people who you're going to have a great time with. I remember one of the things that was exhausting to me in the beginning stages of building my business was, again, because I was trying to be something I wasn't, man, my energy was going down and down and down. It was such a struggle. There was so much resistance. I felt so miserable. I felt like this fake and this fraud. And it was true, because I wasn't being the real me. And again, talking about energy. Everyone here listening right now, I'm sure you've got a family, you may have other jobs, you may have other things happening, and this dream of yours to take this up, you're going to need as much energy as possible. So bringing that full you to the table and not worrying if everyone doesn't like you. In fact, it's good if you repel some people. That means you're going to have so much more growth. It's going to happen so much faster for the people that do resonate with your particular style, your quirks, your energy, the way you speak, and the way you sell.
Marie, that was just incredible and awesome. And thank you so much for it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to stay tuned for just 2 more minutes because I got a major announcement. So don't go anywhere. But Marie, we're going to continue in backstage with the VIPs and do some additional Q&A. But on behalf of everybody watching all over the world, I want to thank you for your contribution. I really appreciate it. You're amazing and you're a superstar. Thank you so much for it.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes, we'll be backstage in just a second. Will you put up the slide, please? Here's some things real quick, and then I got a big announcement for you, so make sure you stay tuned. Take a picture of this slide. Take a picture of this slide. Screenshot it or take a picture of it. Number 1, the GoPro, it's not Go RPO, but GoPro Challenge. GoPro Challenge, hashtag GoPro Challenge. Number 1, use that everywhere on social. Number 2, GoPro Recruiting Challenge with 2 L's in the challenge.com/tracker. We're going fast here, guys. So forgive us as we go. GoPro recruitingchallenge.com/tracker to record your recruiting results. Please do that every time you get a recruit. GoPro recruitingchallenge.com/lifetime access. If you want to get the replays, the price doubles tomorrow. I want you to be able to get that. GoPro recruitingchallenge.com/backstage. And again, all those challenges are 2 L's /backstage. That will get you the backstage pass. So you can be part of that for the rest of this. Share this post for the prizes that we laid out today and make sure that you make your gratitude post. I can't wait to see those. And if you have any questions on anything, just go to support@networkmarketingpro.com and send them an email and they'll take care of you. Now, throw up the last slide, please. Day 3 is going to be unbelievable. I want you to make sure that you tell the world if you're going to hit any day, make sure it's day 3. Day 1 and day 2 are unbelievable. Day 3 is going to be amazing. Pete Vargas is going to be sharing with you the one and the only Jessie Lee Ward. Jessie Lee, come on real quick. Turn your mic on. Turn Jessie Lee's mic on. Tell everybody what you're going to train them. You got 30 seconds. Go.
Oh my God, 30 seconds is too little. Okay, let me try. I am so excited, Marie. I feel so aligned with you because so much of me authentically being me is why I have become who I am in this profession. And so many more of you need to step into that authenticity. I always talk about how we are being this diluted version of ourselves. And if you would show up as 100% instead of 20%, your business would follow suit. So tomorrow, let me tell you, I will speak clearly. But if you think the Zaleckis spoke quickly, okay, I am a directive girl. So I'm actually going to give you something right now. Can I take like 30 more seconds so I can give him an assignment now? Please just nod your head.
No. Can't do it. We can't do it. We can
Whatever,
do it backstage.
It's Eric's fault. Tomorrow is going to be do this. So come ready to make money. If you're not ready to recruit, well, then you don't show up tomorrow. If you are ready to recruit, I will see you tomorrow, same time.
Lee, let me ask you a couple questions. In the last 24 hours, how many people have you personally recruited?
11.
In the last 30 days, how many people have you personally recruited?
Over 120.
Over 120 in the last 30 days. Do you think this woman knows how to recruit? She's going to teach you how she did that, how she recruited 11 people in the last 24 hours. Show up, get your team to show up. Do not miss this. Throw the slide back up. Epic training, Pete Vargas, Jessie Lee Ward, free prizes, surprise announcements. Spread the word. Tomorrow's going to be epic, going to be spectacular, going to be amazing. You absolutely cannot miss it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. For all the VIPs, hang in there, and we're going to go backstage right now. Take care, everybody.